And tonight, a matter of safety at your home. You always ask for identification before letting anyone in claiming to be from a utility company. So much to take in with this case, including, you got to consider this, the lives of 2 Cleveland police officers also forever changed on that day. So far, so good. And last time this happened, a few people were arrested during the Brelo verdict, you might remember, this summer. So fingers crossed that the rest of this ends up being just as peaceful throughout the night. Emotional swings can be so contagious, just like happiness goes a long way. So does despair. So it might be a good idea to keep a bit of a distance from anyone who has a real tough time with a loss. Not that we're going to know much about that in the end, but just in case. The National Hurricane Center says dangerous storm surge, heavy rains, and wind conditions continue across the Gulf Coast. Hillary Lane now has the breaking developments. Now, Debbie says the last thing she remembers is pulling into this gas station just around the corner from her house to get her grandson something to drink. The next thing that happens, though, police find her parked near these propane tanks in her truck with her foot on the brake, pretty much passed out, and her grandson in the back seat. And right now, police are focused on tracking down the gunman who opened fire here on this little house on Dudley. But the family who lives here, well, they are focused on prayer and hope. So now it's back to work for Officer Buford after being on administrative leave ever since he was indicted. But also, this case isn't quite over yet. The family did file a civil case in the federal courts. As everyone in his world would find out, once he decides to do something, it will indeed be done. And in this case, it would mean knocking off more than 270 pounds.
Coming up next on 19 Action News this morning.
Temper tantrums, like he has.
Oh, come on. I do not. I do not.
Some help for parents. New research for parents and those temper tantrums by your kids. This study suggests punishing them is really not all that effective. They also say the worst thing you can do is compromise. A big weekend for music in Northeast Ohio. Peter Frampton plays the Roxino tonight. Fish is at Blossom, and then you got Toby Keith performing at Blossom this Sunday. Rock Hall of Famers Aerosmith playing tonight at Benson Stadium in Canton. It's all part of the big NFL Hall of Fame weekend, but the tickets on sale, well, they're only on the secondary market now. Well, you can step back in time Sunday at Hard Rock Live. Creedence Clearwater Revival is performing. It is the original CCR, but without John Fogerty. It's finally Friday, and finally, it looks like the clouds are just running out of water. There's no more. They come down.
There's just gone. Literally no more rain left.
There you go. Beth McLeod can tell us all about that as we head into the weekend.
That's unbelievable to me.
It really is. Everything can be made now by a 3D printer.
I can't even wrap my head around it. It just seems impossible. It seems
we can make another Brian Duffy with the 3D
printer. One's enough.
That's kind of
scary. I'm sure people are saying one's enough. No more.
Mrs. Duffy is saying that.
Yes.
6:49 now, coming up next on 19 Action News this Friday morning. Oh, lots of talk these days about a certain picture from Mars. Laura DiMaria with more. What's going on with this one, Laura? It's fun to believe that there could be something there.
Yeah, it's a rock.
It looks like something from Star Wars, I kind of see. Yeah,
it's a rock.
All right. 6:10 now, coming up next on 19 Action News this morning. He's no fun.
It's a rock.
We first reported the gruesome discovery on Wednesday. Well, tonight the biggest question is answered, learning who those victims are. Lacey Crisp joins us now with the details on this. Lacey.
Leading to an arrest.
All right, well, Lacey, do police at least know if maybe this was a random break-in or if these victims were targeted?
Attack.
Okay, again, hopefully an arrest soon. Thank you, Lacey. The suspect in a fatal stabbing last night, sitting behind bars after turning himself into Parma police. Officers responded to a home in the 6700 block of Brownfield Drive just before midnight. That's where they say they found 39-year-old Jason Masters in the basement with several stab wounds. Masters died at the scene. The suspect turned himself in a few hours later, but police have not yet released his name. Taking a live look outside in downtown Cleveland, a chilly Saturday night. Those sweaters and even coats need to come out tonight. Fall in full swing, of course, which means some of you may be firing up the furnaces tonight as well, if you didn't already. Meteorologist John Laughlin with a quick preview of our first alert forecast. John.
Yeah, Catherine, throw another log on the fire.
Cleveland coming through for the Ronald McDonald House in a big way, which is especially meaningful to a young face transplant recipient. The annual Wine, Women, and Shoes fashion show filled the Renaissance Hotel in downtown Cleveland. Even our Jen Pachano taking part. It is a popular fundraiser to help the Ronald McDonald House do what it does best, provide housing to families right near the Cleveland hospitals while their loved ones are receiving treatment. The youngest face transplant recipient in the U.S., 21-year-old Katie Stubblefield, was there with her parents. They can't say enough about how the charity got them through the last 4.5 years after Katie tried to take her own life by shooting herself in the face. Now, Katie's parents actually stayed at the Cleveland Ronald McDonald House from 2014 through 2017, and they're so grateful for the chance to get to share their gratitude. Life in the land means supporting the first responders who put their lives on the line every day. One local business offering free photo sessions to police and firefighters. It's called Portraits of Love, which is part of a nationwide effort to honor our heroes. Dodd Camera on East 30th is taking pictures of first responders as a way to thank them for their service. Chaos at this house on Cleveland's near west side last night. And today, absolute heartbreak.
I don't know who would do this.
Sally Davis is the mother of the girl on the right, 9-year-old Elizabeth, and also the grandmother of the one on the left, little Savannah. Both shot when someone opened fire on their house, targeting the front porch area where the baby was in her mom PJ's arms.
My daughter was sitting on the front stairs with her little girl. She was sleeping on her shoulder. The baby got hit in the back of the head. And it went from her head and struck my little girl, was sitting in a chair watching TV in her house.
It happened around 9:30 last night. It appears 7 to 8 shots fired, and while no one here seems to know why, the police report indicates a few men approached the house holding up a purse, boasting that they just robbed a woman shortly after they left.
The door was open, you see the bullet through the hole.
The shooter rolls by.
Like, I just want to go and just go get this creature because he needs to pay for these two innocent kids.
Sally says the older girl Elizabeth is expected to be okay, but the baby, they were told to prepare for the worst with her, amazed she even made it through the night.
This girl has been one tough cookie.
Remorse seems genuine.
I'm embarrassed as heck. I'm ashamed.
Her excuse? Heartbreaking as she looks at a picture of her recently deceased husband.
I miss him. I want to be with him, and that was the whole point.
56-year-old Debbie Hyde, mother of 3, grandmother of 5, says she turned to heroin for the first time, trying to kill herself. That's bad enough, but that she admits to doing it before climbing behind the wheel of her pickup truck with her 11-month-old grandson in tow makes it a whole different story. Claims she had no idea the drug would hit her so fast. Now, Debbie says the last thing she remembers is pulling into this gas station just around the corner from her house to get her grandson something to drink. The next thing that happens, though, police find her parked near these propane tanks in her truck with her foot on the brake, pretty much passed out, and her grandson in the back seat. The baby's father, her youngest son, is shocked too and is not leaving her side.
When I got the phone call about my child, I thought something with her diabetes. That's what I thought. You know, never thought in a million years that it'd have been that.
It was up against these tanks, and it certainly could have been disastrous.
Elyria Police Captain Chris Constantino stresses while she is in trouble, it's what she could have done to everyone else around her that bothers him most.
I hope she gets some help, I really do.
And she promises she will do just that.
I've always protected my kids, my grandkids. That was the dumbest thing I could have ever done, and I'm so sorry. I beat myself up.
In Elyria, Catherine Bosley, Cleveland 19. We all have different ideas of where health and well-being should be on life's priority list. And like our Jeff Tanchak, different ideas
Middle-aged, averagely fit person.
on just how healthy we are. But now an idea to get you closer to the truth.
I mean, I think it's a good idea to have some way you can check at home to get a general idea of your health.
Dr. Mark Meekum with the Cleveland Clinic giving a thumbs up to a 5-step test people are talking about. And Jeff is willing to go at it with me, starting with a tough one. So basically you're getting on your elbows, up on your toes. The plank.
You're able to use your muscles of your abdomen and your low back and can tell how strong your core is. Also good for balance.
And this test calls for holding, starting now.
Starting now.
Yes, for 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
For 2 minutes. A pretty strong start.
You're getting a good shot of my.
Good.
You're getting a good shot of my muscles.
Getting past the first minute, though, oh, the burn begins.
We're doing good. You're doing good.
Starting to break a little sweat.
But finally, we make it.
Thanks.
Next, what proves to be even tougher for both of us. Stand, sit, stand. The catch here, no hands and no knees, which would look like how Dr. Meekum's assistant Stacy shows us. All right, how hard is that?
Not that hard.
Well, we both get the sitting down part nailed. The rest, oh, not so pretty.
I can somehow do it like this.
And as for Jeff, well, he sure deserves an A for effort.
No. Can't do it.
Can't do it. It's time to drop some weight and get to the gym.
Third test, though, is where Jeff redeems himself.
I feel it.
Okay, and count.
Okay.
The resting heart rate comes in at 76.
Awesome.
He's good to go. Falls right in the preferable range of 60 to 80. Much more above that, it's suggested is worth a doctor's visit.
Heart rate is too fast. It means your heart is working harder than it should be.
Next up,
Now I got to tell you, I've had no complaints about my breath.
oh yeah, it's the breath test. And it's really about detecting diabetes. Run it down your tongue. Scrape it.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We'll let that sit for a little bit. So you're looking for a sweet smell.
You're looking for a sweet smell as a sign that your body's giving off glucose or sugar.
And believe it or not.
You don't want to smell this?
No, it's yours.
It smells like the bag.
Nothing sweet here. Finally, the clock drawing test. Big circle, you need a big circle.
Right.
It is more complicated than you think, and it often demonstrates something that you didn't realize was going on.
He explains it's really about picking up on possible dementia. No worries about dementia.
Not yet.
Some other worries, but not dementia yet.
Whew, that was fun. Thanks. Let's go work out.